Nice. He seems to be getting Squinchy and Garrett mostly. Here we go. Hey there, just finished a stream where I analysed the 20 demo game, and I realised afterwards the way I described the demos as being distasteful versus tasteful wasn't quite how I wanted to word it. I meant in my head safe versus unsafe or risky, and when I say distasteful, it's more of like a jokey way of describing it, and I realized after a while that people were taking that personally and meaning that it was a bad strategy. It was a perfectly fine strategy, maybe a little bit overdone, and if it was done too frequently would become easy to counter. But when you're watching this replay and I say distasteful or tasteful, know that it means unsafe or safe. So history has been made. In the semi-finals match against NRG in the RLCS NA Full Cup, Comm of version 1 set the North American player record for demolitions, clocking in at 20 demos in Game 3. So this is big because there was actually last season, Illusion tried just demoing for a whole game and not going for the ball at all in an early stage of an event, and FaZe didn't break this record then. So this is Comm playing normally and he managed to get 20 demos. I'm sure at some point we'll see in the gameplay that he changes his mindset to try and demo a bit more. But what I do want to look a little bit at is the stats first. So in general, Comm is a high demo player. We all know Comm as the demo guy. He likes to get demos. You see 2.72 demos per game, the highest in the league by quite a margin. Still 408 here, pretty good score per game. He's still getting involved in shots and assists and so on and so on. Just integrates demos into his rotations really well, very good at spotting them out, and moves quite well off the ball to be able to get them. Movement speed. Comm moves pretty fast and is grounded. This is what I was meant to be looking at, is the grounded. So he's very grounded, high-ish movement speed. A lot of it is supersonic, just trying to focus on bumping on the way out. Boost-wise, I want to have a look at. So Comm here does use up a lot of boost, does steal a lot of big pads. Not a huge amount, but the general pattern is rotate out after a play via the demo, via the boost steal, whilst boosting. So that's Comm's mindset. He also saves a lot of boost post plays to make that happen. But you don't care about general, you care about this one singular game, Game 3 of this series. Version 1 did beat NRG in this series. It was a 5-game match, right? Yeah, 4-1. The general score lines, you see a lot of overtime actually, so the stats will be a little bit skewed potentially in this. And that's part of the reason why there's so many demos, 7-minute overtime. But if we look here, you can see here, demos 25-4 version 1 to NRG. And if we scroll down to Comm getting 20 demos across the match as a whole. And he's still got a fair amount of points too involved in the play. But we'll have to just watch this game and see for ourselves what happened. Obviously, 20 demos in a single game is a bit misleading because it was a 7-minute overtime, which does mean that the game went on a lot longer than your average game. So it's not going to be as... I don't know what's happened to the audio there. It's not going to be as high a density of demos as you might imagine. It's not just going to be constant fireworks. But we will see the demos. Maybe we can get a little counter going. But you see that sort of rotation that he took there, right? This is a typical rotation. Play, saves a lot of boost afterwards to be able to rotate out via bumps. So he's very willing to do low boost plays and rotate out through the middle of the pitch across where the goalkeeper tends to be at the opponents. You see again, low boost play. Creates a lot of options off the ball to be able to break the opponent down. And it does mean that he's going for demos, but not in a way where, like, historically, Virtuoso of Endpoint used to just charge up field for demos. You don't very rarely see Comm go out of his way for a demo. He tends to do it as part of his rotation out, and the plays that he tends to go for involve a wide rotation by the opponent. Did just miss the boost there. Gonna have to rotate back here. Means he's a little bit further out the play than he'd want to be. See again, low boost decisions via the bumps. See, even that, chasing Squishy, he knew that it was technically to grab that boost and then we'll come back in. So just not willing to overcommit too often, because it just means that he's much more useful off the play. Right, so you see there? A lot of players would wait to jump up for that ball. Instead, he thinks, how can I gain value in this situation? And his way of thinking about it is, I will get the demo and then go back. So I think we've only had one at this point, right? We're a minute in and we've only actually had one demo from Comm. So it's looking more like a normal game here. We've had a few bumps, but we've not had a huge amount of demos. So you're probably thinking, how on earth has he managed to get 20 demos? I'm thinking the same thing. This is the first time I've watched this game. So I'm assuming he starts to heat it up as the game goes on, just to try and wind them up. I just don't want to miss the demo at this point. So there we go. A little bit more all in. Rotates back via the boost. But yeah, this is why Comm is so good at demos, because he knows when a demo is technically an overcommit, right? Like, he hasn't gone out of his way at any point to go for demos that would lead to V1 conceding. So he hasn't had many good demo opportunities right now, because NRG are playing solidly, V1 are playing solidly. Like, everyone's playing solid right now, so no one would be... There we go, there's the first one. So this is it, right? Like, rotates out, gets the boost as he's rotating back in. Squishy caught statically. This is prime demoing position right here. If you are static, like Squinchy is right now, you're going to get bumped. And that's what Comm does. So that's 2. That was technically a mistake from Comm, right? When we look at that back, that's a mistake from Comm, because he doesn't even notice the ball. He's just focusing on Squishy and then accidentally centers it for them. But like, I don't think he realized the ball was going to hit his car there. This is the 20 demo game. Right, nice little touch. You see is all, like, again, the kinds of decisions Comm goes for are ones like this, where he knows he's going to have more boost than the average player when he's finished with it, so he can look to go on a demo run on the way out. A little bit of an upfield redirect opportunity. Doesn't quite get it. Rotate via the bump lines on Justin. It has a 7-minute overtime. So yeah, it's a little bit skewed in terms of stats. So right now, just waiting for Tormy Warmy. Good speed. Beast mode not quite reading that. Bump opportunities missed out on. Actually, Beast mode's got a few demos. Like right now, this is looking like a very normal version 1 game, right? In terms of like demos per game. You know, they tend to, as a team, have a good amount of demos per game. Comm, as a player, tends to have a fair few, but like not that many. That's a good little demo there. Just taking out the last player, taking out the second. This is more like it. This is more like it. They need a goal soon, so he's trying to force a goal a little bit. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Rev it up, baby! Rev it up! Oh, that should have been a goal. Beast mode, what are you doing? Oh. What's that? What's that? 6? Oh, nice little touch. 15 seconds left. They need to get a goal here. Get that demo, baby! Oh. On a real note, you notice how the team was down by 1 goal. They didn't change their game plan until about a minute left, where Comm went, I'm going to try and force a goal through a demo, right? He changed his mindset and went, I must demo. I must go for them. And it opened up some situations. It threw off NRG's defense. They actually had multiple goal-scoring opportunities at the end there. And if it wasn't for the fact that Beast Mode missed one of them, they probably would have got a goal at 30 seconds left there. Trying for the play. But you can see Comm isn't just a demo merchant. He kind of switches it on at times. So we're on 7 now. This was way better with Squishy's face cam. Oh, was he making faces? I can imagine. Oh, oh. Thank God Torment went back there. That was really good team communication. But yeah, you can see this sort of like cutting off the player in the midfield when rotating back. Okay, Squishy right here has missed out on a goal scoring opportunity. That needs to be a fast hit into the wall. Unfortunately, he kind of carried it a bit. He gets demoed for it. So there we go. That's the Comm demo on Squinchy. Send it forward. Go for a bump run. Oh! Almost got Squinchy there. They're just constantly scared of getting demoed. Oh, this is great. Oh, good dodge from Justin. Sitting pinch from Justin. He's playing smart here in the middle. Went for the shot. Fair play. He seems to be getting Squinchy and Garrett mostly. It's the big 10 up there. Squinchy! Ooh! Like, the way he's able to rotate back is class. Like, that's so good. There we go. Justin gets him in revenge. Rotates back nice and fast. That was a little, like, two-pad demo there. We love that. Right. Oh. Just fakes the challenge, goes to the demo, gets Garrett. Lovely stuff. Hey, welcome, Hoodie Who and your community. We're just watching the 20 demo game right now and seeing what happened. Trying to understand it. But the main thing I'm impressed by is the way Comm still got good decision making despite going for this many demos, and how they don't seem to be overcommitting. It's amazing. But yeah, welcome everybody. It's nice to have you here. Torment going for a little Comm run there. Look at how scared they are of getting demoed every time. NRG fans, I can imagine they were hating it and thinking it was cringe. That one, right, that one was a bad one, right? In my opinion, just hit the ball there. Oh! Got the bump at least. Like, this game could have been over way sooner in some situations if he just went for the ball instead. But I wonder if at any point he was like, right, we're going for a record. Yeah, a little bit of a lack of creativity. I wonder if everyone was struggling to focus. Nice. I wonder if everyone was struggling to focus with all of these demos going on. Nice. Nice. Because, like, everyone's quality of touches has gone down a lot because they're probably laughing so much. I don't know if they found it this funny or if it was a hindsight thing. Ooh, almost got Garrett on the respawn there. They're having fun. Yeah, it seems that way. This is what Endpoint used to do in EU back with Virtuoso. And it kind of worked, but it was really easy to counter if you were ready for it. Which is what I'm saying is, like, Comm is good at demoing. Like, he doesn't overdo it. He does it in a fair, reasonable way. So what's a good counterplay? So I've said against teams that bump a lot, you've got to be efficient. And, like, you've got to take out a lot of players per touch, right? You have to be doing a lot more 1v2ing, 1v3 outplays for not a lot of boost. You need to move fast around the pitch and have good fast speed of rotation. Because if you don't rotate fast, you'll get caught statically in the middle. There's an 18, right? Demoing back is a good way to do it. Like, if you're going for outplays, look to do your own off-the-ball outplays, because, you know, if Comm, like, while Comm is doing this, right? If while Comm is doing this, Garrett here manages to do a single, like, manage to do a controlled play, bump beast mode, he would then be able to set up a free goal for someone else. So yeah, the key is to just look to get those bumps. I thought that was 19 still, because I was going back and forward. I think we got one more, haven't we? Or maybe it was 20. The double demo. Was the double demo the last demo? You guys were right. You guys were right. But yeah, like in watching it, you can see how it was done distastefully and how Comm also does tastefully demo. But then the best way to counter distasteful demoing, where you just go out of your way to demo, is to go for 1v2 outplays. Is basically to play it like it's a 2v2. This is how I used to describe it to Guild back when we played against Endpoint, was to play it like you play a 2v2. Now, what kind of outplays work better in 2v2 compared to 3v3? Solo plays, yes, that's the key. Things that don't take multiple players. Lots of little non-committal plays, grounded plays, solo plays, things that you can recover from quickly. And you've got to think about, like, when you're rotating out, how can you be more effective as you're rotating out? Threes is a little bit more bang the ball around and cover areas well, right? In twos, it's a little bit more like, how can I take multiple players out of the game with a string of touches? So when you're playing against a demo-heavy team, you've almost got to play it like it's a 2v2, because that player's probably going to get a demo. You do need to move fast. You need to stay in the play, pick up pads, all those kind of things. And I don't think NRG really cottoned on to that here, right? Like this play from Justin and Squishy, that's not a 2v2 play, right? Like, it's a very aerial threes play. You know, the recovery speed's long. You know, Squishy's play here, long recovery speeds. You know, and this makes you vulnerable because there's more time for Comm to go and be a demo merchant. But yeah, you can see it's a lot more panicky, whereas what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to play the sort of controlled 2v2 game approach. Like right here, right? Squishy and Garrett are now technically in a 2v2 because Comm and Justin are doing their own thing in the corner, right? And this isn't a good 2v2 play. Because in twos, that would be a goal, right? If you did this in twos, it would be a goal. That's a high-risk twos play. And right, what you've got to do is play, in theory, like Justin would get demoed in this situation. Because he almost did, right? Like, Justin could have... I know he didn't, but, like, that's what the demo will punish. Is if you do an all-in threes play, then in a 2v2 situation, that wouldn't work, right? So, yeah, you got to play the twos options more than the threes options. In summary, Comm got a lot of demos.